Well, we should film a couple. God knows what'll happen in the next couple of weeks. Hello, welcome back to Lloyd and JD, the best fucking podcast in the world. I am Lloyd.
I'm JD.
And we have been gone for so long, and I'm still fucking ill.
Yeah. It's been a weird kind of run of stuff.
February's been brutal. Everyone's been sick. I've been sick twice. My daughter's been sick twice.
Yeah, I was really sick. I was out basically for 2 weeks. You know,
It could be the same sickness.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It could have. It could have got to you somehow and all that kind of stuff. Didn't, obviously we were trying not to make each other sick and just, that and snowpocalypse like 2-3 times. It was just
been a shit show.
A really kind of crazy month, but we're back.
I think we give up trying so hard to get here when it snows because it's just not worth the waste of a day.
Well, I think what happened is that we had that one day where
awful.
It was absolutely terrible.
And I'm not joking. Every time it did that snowfall, it happened again.
Yeah.
Stony Trail, the time afterwards, it might not have been Deerfoot, but Stony Trail closed down due to a 51 car pile.
Right.
The time after that, there was a car on its roof on Deerfoot.
Yeah.
So it's just nuts.
Yeah. And the funny thing is we had I had the video camera mounted in the Jeep and stuff.
It took
we
like
took
6
some
hours
footage,
to get home.
Some footage of that. We put it out there. I have some big time haters now on Reddit because of it, because they're so upset about me driving and talking and all that kind of stuff. And they took exception.
Wait, because you were driving and talking?
Because I was driving and talking. It's like, he takes his hands off the wheel too much and he talks to the camera. It's like the camera's right up at the windshield and all that kind of stuff. It's like, if you're that concerned about it.
I don't know why you go to Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit's filled with scum.
Yeah.
And that's just the honest truth. Whoever's watching this will fucking agree. If you don't agree that everyone on Reddit's fucking scum, it's because you're the scum that's on fucking Reddit. You just got told, like, straight up.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the guy has been hating on me and stuff like that. His user tag, believe it or not, is called Dirt Pig.
Yeah, they're all like that. Like, all of them are like social warrior.
Yeah.
Like, this is all their names. They're total fucking douchebags.
So Dirtbag, and his icon is like a penis. So, I mean, no
he's
good
a
comes
fucking
from
dickhead.
that.
Yeah, and that's what Reddit is.
Yeah.
Reddit is a gathering. Like, if you could fill a room with all the fucking cockknockers that you've ever known, that's what Reddit is.
Yeah.
All the people that don't have a voice in humanity.
Yeah.
They have a voice in Reddit.
Yeah. Because we launched a Kickstarter for the convention that we're trying to hold and stuff here as well, which you probably heard nothing about because
we're holding a convention.
Well, not we're holding, but then I'm part of a group that's holding a convention in town. It launched the
What
Kickstarter
group?
and all that kind of stuff. Myself, Matt Moore, Kyle Marshall.
Just picked a piece of brick out of my ear.
Out of your eye?
In my ear. Hidden piece of brick.
Yeah. So we got the convention thing going, and this Dirt Pig guy on Reddit, when he saw the thing, watched the video, saw my name for a second, and then was like, it's called doxing, posting all my personal information and profiles and all that kind of stuff, and this guy should have been reported to the police for the way he drives and all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
Like, man, you've got way too much time on your hands to be hating somebody that much that you don't even know.
Probably looks like a fucking bug or something.
Well, I guess you get, upset when you live in your mother's basement for that long. It's just... But
yeah, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But what's this fucking convention you're talking about?
Yeah, Calgary Digital Expo, so we launched the Kickstarter.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Well,
Never heard
it's
of it.
brand new.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Who's starting it?
What's that? I am Steve from Twitch Calgary, Kyle Marshall, Matt Moritz, Jonathan, who does a bunch of land stuff. So it's been going. I mean, it's already raised $2,000 of its target. So moving forward.
How the fuck have you guys raised $2,000 for that?
Kickstarter.
How?
We just put it out to the world, man.
What a shame that people will fucking put their money on this fucking convention, but they won't put their money on stuff that makes sense.
Like your Xbox Kickstarter?
What the fuck? Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm not involved in this though. No. So what is? Are you going? What is?
I'm involved in organizing and all that kind of stuff. So
conventions fucking suck.
Conventions are definitely interesting.
I'm sick of it.
Well, you're not doing Calgary Expo this year.
Yeah. No, I don't got it in me.
So
I'm too tired and worn out this year. I didn't do anything artistic.
And not only that, Calgary Expo, I will say this on record, they fucked us over.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did they?
So what happened is you remember when we started, we would go to the what is it, the big four, basically, the smaller building, and we would go and we would sit there and nobody would show up in that building, and that was kind of the convention. And we'd wait, and it took us a few years, and then we were in the BMO and things picked up for us. And now they've just said, oh, well, we're going to throw all the Artist Alley stuff back in the BMO. So
Big four,
Big Four, back in the Big Four. So we've all been, put back there, and it's kind of it. So most likely, actually, last year they have the table. I mean, because the price has gone up exponentially.
And it's fucking excruciating to sit there for 3 days.
Yeah.
If you think Expo's fun, get a fucking table and sit there for 3 fucking days.
Yeah.
And tell me you still had fun. I don't care if you're selling stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it has its moments. I mean, it's definitely more workish.
3
in that
days
regard.
feels like a fucking week, a month.
Yeah, yeah, it gets long, and I mean the problem was they started extending it, so it wasn't just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or essentially Saturday,
Thursday,
Sunday.
Friday,
then it's like
Saturday,
Thursday, Friday. It's like, well,
I got a job,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I mean, the extra days hurts, right? I mean, obviously they're trying to get more traffic through. They want more guests, all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't do.
And you can't bring enough food to not buy food when you're there. It's
No,
impossible. It's impossible.
No. And there's nowhere for you to go sort of get away from it all and de-stress. I mean, there's just people everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I'm even going this year.
Yeah.
I'm actually going. I don't think I'm even going.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go.
Yeah.
Plus, if I go, I won't go Stampede, so I'm just gonna go Stampede.
Yeah.
I want to take my daughter to see the petting zoo and all
Right,
that, like
right.
the pet the animals and stuff.
Well, and Stampede's a great family thing, and you've got to do that. Like, I mean, there's so much to do, especially when you've got a little one.
Yeah.
Going to see the cows and all that kind
Well,
of
that's
stuff.
I'm going to
it's-
enjoy stuff I've never enjoyed at Stampede before, because I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy like holding the goats and like getting my daughter to see stroke the animals and learn, because there's a little kids bit where they go
Yeah.
around as a science. So it's
Yeah,
all
because
cool.
that's a fantastic learning opportunity for
It is.
kids, right?
So-
And for them to experience stuff that she'll have never seen before, it'll be
horses
absolutely
and bulls,
amazing,
and
right?
it's
So,
cool, so usually Stampede would be boring for me. I think this year is going to be reamped and
Yeah.
new and.
because
What do you-
basically all I do go down there is I just shoot bands, eat food, and go home.
Well, we couldn't go last year because the temperature was so hot.
Right.
It was like, 38 degrees
Yeah.
a couple of days there. People were passing out on the tarmacs. Like, how a baby's going to react to that? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, and I mean, that's tough, right?
It's like, do we spend the money to go just hang out in one of the rooms until we're done and then just go home? It's like, probably not,
Yeah.
So I might try to take her if there's a rainy day,
yeah.
because the tarmac is brutal when it's hot, even for an adult. And I just,
Well, just people, big crowds of people is brutal.
and she
enough.
loves rain and running around in puddles, so she'll still have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
And she's got the full rain kit,
Yeah.
Kids don't give a fuck about the rain.
No, they just want to be out, and it'll be.
So if we can get a rainy down Stampede, I actually quite enjoy that. I might go down on that.
And I mean, there'll be so much stuff and so much going on that it's going to be, sensory overload for her, anyways. I mean, she's
Yeah.
going to see, carousels and games and all sorts of stuff.
Lights
I mean,
and
yeah,
she's gonna be
goats
tired
and
by the end
horses
of that
and
day.
yeah,
So I'll be parking down Stampede that day.
yeah.
No training it for me with a tired child.
No, and there's some secrets to getting there and what days to do it in order. Like, I mean, you're obviously best to go on a Sunday because then you can park for free and
Hopefully it rains on a
do
Sunday.
the little hike and all that kind of stuff, or go after, do an evening
So
kind of thing.
Where are you fuckers holding this new convention then?
That's to be announced because we just want to make sure that we're scaling it.
How much
properly.
money are you asking for?
20,000.
$20,000, and you're gonna spend it on a convention.
Yeah.
That pains me.
Yeah.
Let's spend it on something different.
What's that?
Let's just spend it on something different.
Like what?
Drugs.
Lloyd is launching a different Kickstarter. He is going to have a $20,000 marijuana party celebrating the launch of, legal marijuana in Canada. So,
Which has been pushed back to October.
have they officially pushed it back to October?
I don't know. I haven't looked it up. I've just been told.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
there's a
going
lot
to
of
pretend that I know all the details because I don't.
yeah. There's a lot of information going around. I know Alberta's started taking applications for businesses that want to distribute.
It's getting annoying, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a pothead. Have been all my life. Will be all my life. It doesn't get in the way of me being a father. It doesn't get in the way of me doing my job. I do it when I'm responsibly allowed to do it. What the fuck, man? It's just too much for me now.
Yeah.
I'm too much. People talking about it all the time. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like becoming... How can I put this where people can understand the way I feel? It's becoming like it's a fad. Like, weed's becoming like this. Weed's like... To me, weed is so much more than... It's a lifestyle for me. It's a medicine. It's so many things. It's recreational. It's all these things put together. It helps me with my ADHD. It helps me focus. It helps me to control my thoughts that want to drift to a million different things at once. And it allows me to focus on one task, one objective, and get it done through to the end. It allows me to go to bed at night and to be hungry during the day. It allows me, where my medication for my, ADHD makes me not hungry and it makes me not tired. And so doing all that for me, and then it's recreational after work. It's a de-stress for me.
Yeah.
It allows me to chill. It does what for people maybe that drink beer after work. To me, it signifies the end of the day. It signifies that I can rest.
Yeah.
And it's all those things for me. But now it's just like it's becoming like this big stigmatism of like weed's legal and then opening all these shops and everyone's like frantic about it, and then you know the cops are worrying about it. It's just fucking weed. It's just weed. Alcohol is so much more abusive than marijuana. It blows my fucking mind that there's just this much about it. It's just weed.
Well, it's because it's
like
a,
people
it's a
get
mind
drunk
shift.
and they beat their wives. They get drunk and they run over their kids' head. I heard a story the other day about a drunk guy run over his own kid's head.
Yeah.
He backed down and drive over his kid's head. I've never known a pothead to fucking do that. Like, this alcohol is so fucking abusive. And yeah, it was just like, you know, now it's just the most casual thing in the fucking world. But like, weed's being legalized and people, it's just like an outrage. And like, you've got people that are against it, people that are so for it. And then you've got people that want to make money off of it. And it's just becoming like this huge, like, thing.
Yeah, well,
it's
I think the money making machine is definitely a big thing that will fuel it, and that's what's fueling a lot of the media and the media.
Just legalize
attention
it and
all that
move
stuff.
forward. Just let it be normal.
Right.
Just open shops that sell it and move the fuck on. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand all the bullshit. It doesn't make sense. But like we do it with everything. Like the government, we make the smallest fucking thing in the world bullshit. Like
yeah.
I just don't get it. It's just like let people sell it, move on.
Yeah. But, you know,
if you're selling it illegally, just like tobacco or alcohol, you're probably going to get arrested.
Right.
But
all those regulations have been there for like alcohol and tobacco for
but they're
a long,
making
long
it
time.
Just like, it's not just like, we've done this with alcohol. We went through the changing period. We went, you know, there's pictures of them pouring gallons of alcohol out of buildings and burning alcohol and it being in front of. We've been through all this. Did we learn anything? Fuck no. We're doing it again with weed.
Yeah.
And
Well, we
it's
learned
just
it
like,
with tobacco too, because we used to have like giant billboards and, you know,
it's
all that kind of stuff.
crazy. Like,
and
it's just like, why do we just do the same mistakes that we did before? Like, we don't learn.
No, because people don't, you know, and my biggest beef with people these days is they don't do their research. They don't look at the past. They don't, you know, and we're bound to make the same mistakes. If you don't look at history.
We're human. We're only human.
If you don't look at history and the mistakes that were made in history, you're bound to make them again. And we do that over and over. And I mean, it's frustrating. I get it. There's going to be a time.
But for someone like me, that it's really part of my life. It's just, I kind of want it to just all fuck off.
Well, it's like the launch date, right? Initially, they were going to launch it, July 1st, and now
Even
you're
the launch
saying
date bugs
October.
me. Like, it bugs me that there's like this launch date. It's like, just fucking make it. Just.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, July, if what you're saying is correct, that they're moving it to October, then October will come too soon, and then in October they'll be like, oh, it's way too soon. We got to move it to January. Then January will come and go, and then they'll move it to August.
But then when it
Like,
finally
you're
launches,
never gonna
it'll be
ready.
a fucking explosion that
Yeah.
will just cause arrests and the cops. The cops are going to be going nuts because the cops are used to busting people that smoke weed, and now they're not allowed to bust people that are smoking weed, and now they're going to be enforcing like the little rules that no one, you know, most potheads aren't going to read all the fucking rules. Like, they're going to be like, oh, I can smoke dope now. I'm going outside to smoke a massive gagger. They're not going to read, oh, if you're 500 feet from a school, you're probably going to get fucking ass raped. Like, if, you know, you're not going to read all these little fine combs, and people are going to be arrested left and right because weed's going to be smoked willy-nilly, and it's just going to be a fucking gong show.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
I
all
don't
they
disagree.
had to do was just fucking legalize it, see where it went, and deal with it kind of as we went, and like, you know, deal with the guys that are smoking too close to the school. Stop them, not arrest them. Stop them. Don't do this. This is not allowed. Try not to do this. We understand weed's illegal. Please try not to do it around schools. Done. If you're catching the same guy multiple times at the same fucking school, arrest the cocksucker. But I don't get why we can't just kind of like move through things. We have to. It's like we set all these laws in place that just cause fucking mayhem.
Hopefully what happens is that it gets legalized.
People are going to be committing murders and getting away from it because the cops are going to be so fucking occupied by people driving stoned.
But what I was going to say is hopefully they legalize it and basically set forth, you know, some rules, but don't overdo it. And what I mean by overdo it, where they're basically law.
You know it, I know it. They're going to overdo it, and they're already sour about the fact that it's getting legalized. So any law that they can practically put in place, they will put in place. No weed smoked on balconies, only on level ground. Like, it's going to be weird shit.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, people are getting upset with the, you know, the regulation and control and selling in the shops and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of the guys that were positioning themselves to be, you know, sort of the head of retail and stuff like that. You know, places like Ontario, where Ontario's decided, like, no, we're going to distribute this stuff. They're upset. They're not upset because, you know, leagues being legalized. They're upset because it's being legalized and they're not going to get a cut that they thought they were going to get.
You know, there's two different ways you could be upset, though. you know, because the way the government's moving forward, and it's annoying to me, like for someone that's been involved in this since I've been old enough to be involved, maybe before, you know, someone that's been involved in this scene, it's like they're changing everything. Like I've looked into, obviously before this, I've looked into like getting a card. I've looked into like the legal ways to go about this. The way that they're doing it is all wrong.
Yeah.
People have been doing this a certain way for fucking years. And now you're going to change everything, the weight, the price. No, man, that's not how this works. Yeah. You don't own this. You can't just be like, okay, we're taking weed sales now and this is what we're going to make it, because that's going to piss people the fuck off. I think that's what they've done. Yeah. And they're changing it, like now you can only buy 15 grams and 30 grams at a time and you don't get a deal and it's this and that and it's the prices are different. Right. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. What I think might happen though as well is, as far as pricing goes, I know the government actually had a survey out asking people how they paid for their weed and how much they paid for their weed and all that
Look
kind
at
of stuff.
Companies that are already thriving, and like this is what annoys me about the Canada government. Say what you want about America. They fucked up in many different fucking issues, and they're, you know, whatever you feel about their government, this is not what this podcast is about. Don't care. Yeah. But their weed policies went fine. Other than the federal government being cocksuckers and busting people even though they had legal permits, which has been a huge fucking deal over there. But let's put that to the side and forget that those federal cunts are doing that every fucking 5 days because they think they're fucking tough. It's gone pretty well. Yeah. They've done pretty well. They've boosted the economy. Like certain places have made so many taxes.
Like Colorado.
It's put billions of dollars into their industry. It's created jobs. It's created schools. It's done so much for them, and it's done so well. They've been good with it. They've had festivals. They've had, you know, crime's gone down. Yep. So many things have changed for the better. Yeah. Why can't our government look at how they've done it and just imitate that, take the things that were good from that, because they've just done it. Yeah. It's fresh. It just happened. No, let's put a survey out and see how the population thinks that we should do it. Fuck the population.
No, I don't think they're asking the population how to do it. They were looking to sort of see what people were paying, because I think what they're scared of.
But that's what they need. Do your fucking research without asking. This is what bugs me though. It's like
you pay. I don't know what you pay now, but you pay so much for your weed that basically gets delivered because it's medical and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think what the government's concern is that when there's a larger amount of people that are going to do it and there's a larger demand, that these companies are just going to say, instead of, you know, what would a gram cost you?
Depends.
7
to 14.
Okay, so 7 to 14. They're worried that 7 to 14 then becomes 14 to 28 because there's so much demand and they can't keep up. Like no, California, for example, California just legalized it and they're having a supply problem. And the
California don't live where we live though. This is what they need. BC and Canada is set up for this industry. Yeah. California has a water shortage for fuck's sakes. California, you can't grow wheat. Yeah. Of course they're having issues.
They are growing weed, but you know, they're concerned.
I'm exaggerating, but you understand. Yeah. I get that people are going to think that I'm exaggerating.
But that's what they're concerned about. They're concerned about that the consumer gets taken advantage of and then it becomes a big cash cow. It's like these drugs, you know, it's like the guy that had the cancer drug and he increased it. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to increase it 3,000%. Why? Because you need it and I don't care. I'm going to make
But that's money. Where like these companies though that are run, they're potheads. They don't believe in this stuff. And then mostly, like, look at Trimo, the company that runs. You've got millions of companies that run Weed Man. You can look online. There's a million of them.
But there's other issues because things like, okay, for example, there's 250 permits in Alberta coming up for people to open establishments to sell weed. Which, okay, fine, you've got a number, all that kind of stuff. The problem is that there's companies like Liquor Depot that are looking to basically chew up all those.
Fine. And that's fine in my eyes because it's a starting thing and they'll fail. Yeah. They'll fail because it's not, this isn't liquor. You can't make this in your basement unless you've got extensive knowledge. Yeah. You can make, my mum's friends make wine. You know, no one cares. It's not that great. We tasted it. Yeah. Weed doesn't work like that. Yeah. It's a plant. It's love that has to go into this. And these companies that are growing out of BC right now, you know, Okanagan Originals, Mordor Organics, Soho Farms. These are places that are dedicated to gardening marijuana. They're run by like hippies, man. They're run by...
Which is good. And I think the government, honestly,
and liquor places that want to start that will fail and they will tumble because their product isn't worth $28 a gram. And it doesn't matter how much of it you have. People won't buy it, man. Yeah. And it's the truth. And, you know, it's the same with the companies that I know that I get from now, which I won't disclose, but the stuff that they sell, the stuff they're selling for $7 a gram, which is cheaper than you could ever get it on the street, is a million times better than what you'd buy on the street, but is their least good product.
Yeah.
And when I get that stuff, blows my mind. The $14 a gram stuff is so good that it's worth the money. And not only that, it lasts twice as long because you're not using as much, because it's doing the job that you needed to do quicker and better than any stuff that you would have bought ever before. And that's because the love and the knowledge that goes into growing that stuff is extensive. And they've been doing it their whole lives. Most of these people were born into families that believed marijuana was a medicine before it was even recognized as a medicine. These people know what they're doing, and it's a science. There's trichomes. There's a science behind this. Yeah. And there's a science behind alcohol, but alcohol, you can drink fucking rubbing alcohol, and me and you could both get fucking drunk. We might go blind, but we'd get drunk. You can, alcohol's alcohol. You can make shitty alcohol. They make potato fucking vodka in jail and people fucking drink it. You know what I mean? It gets the job done. You cannot do that with weed, because if you grow a shitty product, it doesn't work.
Right.
If you have a tolerance and you grow a shitty product, it's not like alcohol. When you do a shitty product in alcohol, it's just really strong.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that with marijuana. If you do a shitty product, it's really weak and no one will fucking buy it. Yep. So you're going to need that love, that knowledge. And with places like liquor stores that he might get away with a lot of this business right off the bat. Yeah. But he will fail. He will crumble. He will lose money. He will lose customers. And at the end of the day, it will end up in the right hands eventually. Yeah. And these places that are already existent, that have permits in place now, I think will be protected. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to be protected. Yeah. Their job, what they're doing, it's all clean. It's medically surveyed for mold, for mildews, for critters.
And I think that's what the government is ultimately trying to do. It may not seem like that, but I think they're trying to protect the industry that already exists and is doing well.
I hope they do, because those are the people that I will stay loyal to, because those are the people that are creating a product that's worth fighting for.
I think they're scared of the McDonald's of the marijuana industry. I think that's what
you don't have to be, and that's the great thing about marijuana, because they won't thrive. Yeah. And it's the same with before. When I'm not going to name names on gangs and stuff now, but it's the same before. If you grew shitty weed on the street, you were known for the guy that grew shitty weed. Yeah. It didn't matter how much you had. It didn't matter how cheap it was. People were like, "Fuck that. Yeah, I ain't spending my money on that. I work hard for my money. I'm not going to spend it on your shit." Yeah. And it will be the same. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So that's all we have time for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you guys back. It's awesome to be back here. I've personally missed,
I'm a bit under the weather today, so it is what it is. But it's glad to be doing a podcast, I guess. Yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm Lloyd.
I'm JD.
Peace.
See ya.